Conquering Mount Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Free Pattern Friday. Yeah, I love Free Pattern Friday. And today we have a really cute little scrap buster here, and I've laid this one all out ready to be sewn. It's called Mix Bag. And there's lots and lots of things you're going to find in those description notes as well as the cutting instructions. So this is kind of a really quick and interesting one to do. But first, let's do our shout out. Joan Parker at Shelby Stitcher is our first shout out. And Gina Tell at Thread Graffiti. Now, both of those guys, those channels are in the show notes below, and wow, are they doing some amazing things over on their channel. So go check them out and tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you, if you like what you see over there. The first, after Twinkle Twinkle, because we're already filming Twinkle Twinkle and we've got most of it sewn, we've got all of it sewn, we just have to sew it all together now. It's going to start February 25th, which is going to air after this date, so you'll be up, because we're filming this near the end of January, right? And so the next sew along after Twinkle Twinkle is called Happy Scrappy Overflow. Now, you guys have seen that purple and white quilt. That one's different. This is a different sew along that we decided we were going to do first, and then we'll do the purple and white one that you guys see usually behind me, and everybody makes comments on and goes, wow, is that ever gorgeous? But we're going to do, it is coming, but it is coming after Happy Scrappy Overflow. We also have Zoom sew dates in those show notes below. It's the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you don't have anything to sew that day and you want to bring your knitting, bring it. We're more inclusive and getting together and having fun than exclusive and only quilting. You know, we let everybody in. Making comment, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hitting the bell, and I guess YouTube now has put in a hype thing that you guys can do. All of those things will help us out, and hype is new, so that helps push all of it helps push our analytics along, and we get to show more people, more quilters, for some fun free patterns 3 times a week. Also, we have a Facebook group, and it's warm and welcoming. There's all sorts of fun community chats to join, and fabric exchanges by country, and a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord. So you now have a sewing date like 24/7. So it's a great place to come hang out. Every time I walk into that Discord room, it's like a party, a sew party is going on. But the admins have said, please answer the questions and agree to the rules. Otherwise, I can't let you in. So you have to kind of let them know who you are. I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups. So if your guild or group is looking for a speaker, please let me know. I do it over Zoom only, and my email address is under the About tab, or you can message me through the Facebook group if you're part of that Facebook community. Also, guys, shout outs. Please send me your shout outs. Please send me quilting channels that are working hard and having fun and doing something interesting. You know, please send them to me. I would be happy to give them a shout out. I don't have time to look for new channels either. I mean, I would love to be able to help new channels out as well. So send them those links along with their name. Preferably with their name and their link, either through email under the About tab or through Facebook. Also, 2 collaborations are coming up. The first one is the Quilters Challenge, of course, with Future Cat from New Zealand, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Sam Alberts, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Laura Lynn, no, not Laura Lynn, it is, her name escapes me, Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and myself. And we're just going to have a ball in there, you know, coming up with challenges to challenge each other, but also to challenge our viewers. So this is going to be a fun one, and we've kind of, those guys are very, very creative, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm kind of excited to see what else they're going to come up with, right? The other one is, now, if you're a beginner, or if you've been quilting for a very long time and you've picked up all sorts of bad habits, like, I mean, I've picked up bad habits, I know I have. Back to Basics is being ran by Donna from Sewing with Handmade by Ying with Donna. And she's put together a bunch of YouTubers that are going to give you back to basic lessons on how to do things. And, you know, it's going to be so much fun. And I believe she wants to make a quilt or charity quilt out of all the blocks that we make and show you guys and present you guys. So it's going to be, that one's going to be fun too. Let's see, what else have we got? Now you want to check her out right away. That's also, all these people that I'm talking about are in the show notes, right? So all their YouTube links, you're going to see a whole bunch of YouTube links. You're going, wow, there's a lot of people there. And I think that's it. I think that's all there is. Yes, come on in. We'll get to the sewing of Mixed Bag. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. And first thing we're going to do is the hardest parts. Really, there's no hard parts. We're going to do some stitch and flips. And we're just going to go through very quick and get all 8 of these. Now, these flying geese units, you know, if you guys have scraps that are big enough to sew a, you know, a 4 at a time flying goose, that would be perfect, because that would help out this right away, you know, and then you're not sitting here doing 1 at a time, right? But yeah, my pieces were not that big, so I'm trying to use up my scraps. So I gave you the cutting instructions for these, for this method that I'm using right here. If you wanted to use a 4 at a time method, I have a cheat sheet on my channel for under that, if you go look for a how-to video, the how-to videos, how to do 4 at a time flying geese, you can do that. Like I say, it's kind of nice. This block is kind of nice that way because it gives it a lot of symmetry. But, you know, in order to do bigger things like 4 at a time flying geese, you have to have the scraps, right? You have to have that amount. Oops, I'm gonna leave that. There we go. Put that like so, just like this. There. This is not the hard part, by the way. There's actually no real hard parts in this block. Okay, now, since we got this going on, there we go. I'm going to get rid of that thread. Now, before you cut, make sure you have coverage, right? Coverage before cutting. So now I'm going to do something a little different with these blocks other than another half square triangle. So that's why I'm just clipping them off. But yeah, that, make sure you have coverage, because wow, that could be bad if you don't. There. Yeah, you want to make sure you have good coverage. Checking for coverage. There we go. And you just kind of rough cut your 1/4 inch, you know, just like that. It's not a, you know, you don't have to have a perfect 1/4 inch for this. You know, if you rough cut it and it works, oh good, that's fine. And you want to stay on this side of the line when you're doing these. You want to make sure that you've got good coverage by you know, maybe skinnying up your point. Check. Here we go. And just rough cut that 1/4 inch. I had to tell you a funny story here. I had been doing so much paper piecing or sewing fabric onto paper, right, to do string piecing, that my needle was so dull. By the time I got it all done, my needle was so dull that it wouldn't even puncture my finger. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's time that needle get changed. And I had only put like maybe 8 hours, if that. You know, check. This is a pretty fabric. This is a pretty low volume. There we go. Last one. Okay. Yeah, this is a really pretty little rainbow star thing going on. I just thought it was adorable. When I found it in my scraps, I was like, oh, please be big enough. And it was just big enough. So cute. Okay. There we go. Now, again, check. Yep, there we go. There. And we're just going to finger press that out of the way. Actually, yep, there we go. Yeah, I was really surprised until that needle got. It was like, wow. So you might want to check every once in a while. If you don't put 8 hours, 8 hours, you should be changing your needle, right? That's kind of the rule of thumb. But when you're doing 8 hours of foundation paper piecing, that rule may not apply suddenly, because paper is really hard on needles. So if you're doing nothing but foundation paper piecing, every 6 hours you should be changing your needles. Because I had gone barely 8. I doubt if I even did 8. And wow, it was not sharp in any way, shape, or form. The next thing I'm going to do is quickly do the 4 patches. Run them through all the same way. There we go. Yeah. And, yep, perfect. There. Just line that up. Oops, get that lined up really nice. There. You tell I'm thinking about spring already in here. I'm just itching for spring. It's just this winter's been, it's the end of January and it's already been long enough. You know, it's already been long enough for the winter. I'm good. I don't need any more winter. I know what it's about now. Yeah, it's sad. A sad reality. Okay, now, just going to get these sewn. Okay. I'm just going to roll these through real quick like a bunny. They don't need a lot of... Now, you'll notice how I'm sewing them. I'm going to make quarter square triangles out of them instead of pinwheels or half square triangles. That I find a little easier to deal with sometimes, you know. It's just a little bit bigger block. And I've got 8, I might as well run them all through. There we go. There. Now, when you do this for your leader enders, all of these sides are on a bias, right? That's the sad part about all that. But, you know, it is what it is. And we're just going to cut these so they end up in 4 patches. So we're going to press to the dark. So, let's see. This goes up and this goes that way. And we run it through here. Nice and nested. Perfectly nested. There we go. And you want that seam to go this way and then this one to go this way. And you put them together. And I'm going to snip them. I forgot to snip that first one, but I'm going to snip them so that I get a nice nest and I can basically swirl my seam. That's going to give me a nice flat block. And that's what we're looking for. Nice little flat blocks. We don't want blocks with big bumps in them and humps. And, you know, if you're doing your sewing, you know, as you're doing your quilting, the last thing you want is a lump to be dealing with, right? So, let's run these through all the same way. Here we go. And there. Last one. Last of the 4 patches. like I say, you can do this block totally scrappy. You could put different greens and yellows in, or, you know, whatever color you wanted. I mean, any crazy accent color, I mean, can go in there too. I decided to go, everything on these blocks, there's a little white polka dot, a little yellow swirl, a little this, a little that, you know, that kind of thing. So now, these are all going to go the same way, because we sewed them all the same way. There. Now we'll just, oops, let's put all of them together, just the way they were sewn, and flip it over, and then we'll just get one like this, and one like this, and we're going to flip them around like that. So we get a cute little quarter square triangle. And this piece now is a little bit bigger to manage, you know, than a half square triangle. You know, it's up to you how you want to do these. Okay, so we're going to get all these off at the same time. Yay. Because we have leader enders. Okay, I want to show you something. We'll just get, oh wait, was it this one that didn't get cut? Yeah, this one didn't get cut. Okay, we're just going to cut that joining thread there. Now, all of these will spin open, right? I just pop that seam open and I get it to lie really quick, nice and flat, and I put it down. Now let me show you what I'm doing. To the seams, this seam is going this way, so this wants to spin clockwise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure they spin clockwise just by opening up that seam. Right now all of them are spinning clockwise. Very simple to do, very quick, and I'm just going to show you up close. You just take them and you pop them like that, and then you open it, and ta-da, magic. You have a perfectly spun block, and everything's lying nice and flat the way it should. Again, one more, just pop it open that way. Now, if you didn't see what was going on, you only saw this. Two seams are going this way, so it's going clockwise, and you make sure you just pop them open that way. Right? Perfect way to do this. Now, this is where we start to play. This block, I felt, looks best this way. However, you can take these rails units and do a little bit of a rearranging if you want. Okay, just like this. You move the green to the outside. You get a completely different look. You can also take these and spin them like this. You know, so you have them pointing, the flying goose now points to the center instead of the outer edge, right? That again looks different. I kind of like, I'm debating. I think this might be easier to do, because when I put this in a, a quilt, if I have all my points in, I don't have to sit there and worry about, well, did I lose my points? So maybe what I should do is just do this way. You can do this however you want, right? This is why there's versatility in blocks that we, okay, it doesn't matter how you do this block, as long as you do all of them the same. And the same too with these little quarter square triangle things. They're spinning counterclockwise, so you pop it open and now all four of them are spinning counterclockwise, right? So let's keep doing this. I like this with the point in. And this way I'm sewing it too with the goose point up, so I can steer around it if necessary to make my point. So I don't want to cut the goose's nose off. Okay, so let me just highlight this, get it a little bit darker, and you can see what I'm doing here. Hang on. Okay, so this is the goose, and these here are the stitch lines. I know you can't see it because I'm using white thread. Okay, so this is the stitch line. Can you see the X? Can you see where I put the X there? Right there. Okay, so I want to stay on this side of the X with my needle. So when I line these up,
I am not cutting off my goose, right? And especially if it's a little shy, on the shy side, and it might have just a bit of, you know, oh, did I lose? No, I didn't lose my, I just thought I lost my thread. Hang on. Something's gone awry. There. I just want to make sure I touch, just but gently kiss the goose's nose. And if you sew it like this, you can't see anything. But if you sew it like this, you know where your point is. And that really helps your piecing too, right? I mean, you put all this effort into a quilt, you know, especially like for me, I'm making these blocks all end up in a charity quilt. You know, I want to put some effort in to make it look nice, right? And we just take 2 more of these. And got cute little things. There we go. Oops, get that under. There we go. Okay. So I decided to change the block. And I'm okay with that. Now, if I was making a quilt, I would change all of the blocks. You know, or you could play around with them. The other one was too to play with these, right? I mean, you could do that as well. Okay, so now we're just going to fold to the dark, press to the dark again. We want all of this, and you have, by the way, perfect points on every one of them, because you could see your point. This way you don't cut it off, right? So again, another perfect point. Wow, what a surprise. Okay, last up. And every one of these has a perfect point because you were able to see your point. So let's just assemble this now as a 9 patch. Basically now this comes into a 9 patch. Now, because you've pressed to the dark, this seam here, this seam right here will nest. So what you want to do is you want to get this right here. Then nest this seam the best you can. There we go. Oops. Why is this so loose? This tension shouldn't be this loose. Okay. Here. Now this gets nested. Okay. And when you're sewing it all together, you don't have to worry about missing any points, because the points already been dealt with. And I'll just snip that off. And here again, okay. Now here it doesn't match, it goes the other way, but that's okay. You got one little bump, that's fine. As long as you match up kind of where that's going to lay, it's going to look like it works. Okay, and another one of these leader enders. There, spin one around. There. Okay, so now you pull this back. There, line it up. Oh, my thread just broke. Well, that's not polite. That's not nice. How rude. How rude. Okay, so it's my top thread. Why is my top thread doing this? That is so weird. Okay, oh, I see. Okay. Now I'll get it all rethreaded. See how long this takes. It might take longer to rethread this machine today than it does the other day. They put in a real fine needle. And yes, I am regretting that decision. Oh. And now, there we go. I got it. Ha ha ha. Gotcha. Here we go. Get that. right there. And sometimes you just gotta give up and rethread and be done. Be done with it, just like enough. That's it. And this goes this way. And only half of these are going to nest on the edge, which is okay. I mean, you haven't got the whole block nesting because of the way everything is moving, but that's all right. That's all right. We tried our best. We tried our best. Oops. Let me just get this and this. Right now I've got 4 little quarter square triangles, which is I'm fine with. All right. Now, we're going to sew this the other way. Because you just take your look, you take a peek at it, and you can see that you've sewn it the right way. So now we have to decide whether we're pressing away from the purple, which I think will work best. There we go. Now I'm just going to pop this open and make sure that I get a good... Ugh, come on. There we go. There we go. There. Get that off. And we're going to nest the next seam. Oops. Nest. Oh my god, I can't talk today. New mouth just installed. Yeah. And nest again, and just like that. Okay, I'm going to take this, going to pop this open. I'm not even going to trim off those little dog ears. I don't have to right away. And I'll pop this open. And I'm making a little 4-patch, and I want that to go just like that. Just put this up through. There we go. And make this nest at the bottom. Just like so. There. There's one side. There. And we're going to push that away from the center. There we go. Now, this is the other one. The other side. Oh, I should probably press both of them through, right? Duh. You'll see what I'm doing. You'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so this goes like this. Yeah. Wait a minute. There, that goes like this. Just a minute. I have to rethink this. What I'm doing here. Hold on. These cute little leader enders. They're such cute little blocks when you're done with these little leader enders like this. I just need to mess mine up. Okay, now let's get this underway, and here. Now I'm just going to pop this open just like so, and we're going to make that nest. There we go. Okay. You want to make that nest. Yeah. I am definitely in the mood for spring here today. Oh my goodness. Okay. And now with this, we're just going to open it up. We're going to press one this way. Oh, one goes this way. And the other one goes the other way. And you're sitting there. Oh my gosh, it's nothing but little dog ears. Yes, it is. That's great. But everything is on the bias. And I'm just going to clip this right here in the middle and sew it all down in place. go. This now just gets pressed away from that center block. There, and you have it matched. So what we did is we played around with the placement. So your placement for these flying geese are going to be different from the front to the end, right? But what we did is we pushed some seams to get as much nesting as we could within the block, because some of it's not going to nest. Like here and here is not nesting. This one too, like half of them aren't nesting, because that's the beast of 4 patches. So let me give this a good press and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, this is Mixed Bag. So cute, so much fun. And you know, you can play a lot around a lot with these. My pieces were not very big, so remember, you could use the 4 at a time flying geese method if your fabric is larger. Just go look on my YouTube channel that explains how to make 4 at a time flying geese if you don't know how. And there's also a PDF in that show notes in the description box there that tells you how to make these, you know, like all the different numbers and finished sizes. The finished size you're looking for this block is 2 by 4, right? So very important you know that. But this came out really nice, and it's lovely spring colors, and we have some rainbow stars going in along in the background. But yes, I'm ready for spring right now. And this is our cute little, you know, hourglass block that we made out of this, and it looks like it's been really intricately pieced, but basically it's all our cutoffs for our flip and stitch corners. So I hope you give this one a try. This one was a lot of fun to come up with, and you know, we want to play and have some fun, right? That's what we want to do. So this one is a good one to do that with. So you have an absolute awesome week ahead, and I hope your 1/4 inch is running just perfect. So stay well and take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your lives, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.